Hello, my loves. I am Ellie Frost. Thank you so much for everyone who's liking, subscribing, just plugging in and being on my channel where we are dealing with the multidimensional way to rapidly and radically heal and transform during and after narcissistic abuse. Yeah, I've got my own methodology that's very integrated and that utilizes tools and principles spiritually, energetically, physically, emotionally, and psychically to set you free. And today's topic, right, inspired by someone who posted, so do comment what you'd like me to talk more about, is winning disputes with the narcissist, which is a very important topic because a lot of my clients are in the middle of court battles, custody cases, all sorts of disagreements, narcissist business stuff. They put you in sticky situations. I am loving the comments on this channel where people are saying, yep, I'm not triggered. Yep, I'm not trapped. I don't react in the same way. This stuff works. Please look at my videos if you're in these situations, because I'm talking about winning. Throat chakra. My throat chakra is open the more I do this work. So just I'm not going to redo this because it's part of what's going on with me energetically. So I live and breathe my work and my throat chakra is opening. We're playing to win. Yeah? I'm talking about winning the disputes. Now, you might not always get everything you want. It's a co-creation with the divine, but we are playing to win. If that's scary, if that seems too much to you, right, or seems selfish in any way, I'm talking about winning your life back, winning your sovereignty, being the one that gets to determine your own life. When we have been in these cycles, we end up with very low boundaries, very low standards, and very low expectations for our lives. So you win your life back, you win the battle, your way. Right, which will not be years of agony and fighting and conflict and stuff hanging over your head. So I'm going to give you, and by the way, I do have some single sessions open every month that I've reopened, right? So if you do want a single session with me, people come for one session and, especially on things like this, and they get a very clear direction. Yeah, and I work with them energetically and strategically. So, if you are working with this and you would like to take advantage of the 6-week or the single session, if you might need 6 weeks, but it depends. Depends where you are in your process. But this stuff works. Anyway, I'm going to tell you what I teach my clients. And I am going to suggest you play to win, not just play in defense, which is I'm always playing not to lose, and definitely not playing in what you have been playing all the time with the narcissist, which is just in reaction to them. Not even thinking about what you want in your life anymore, just what is in response to what they're doing, which is what they train you to do, right? So I teach my clients a principle, and that principle is called outcome focused. Which means that I feel you get to tune into your ideal outcome. Now, what's difficult about doing this sometimes on your own, it's not impossible, it's totally available to you, is that it's difficult when you're in the middle of something to not just think within the parameters of what you think is available. You've already got a million ideas about, well, if I do this, he'll do that, and he's done this, so I should do this, or I'm just trying to minimize, I'm trying to play in defense, I'm trying to minimize my loss. That never works with a narcissist though, right? A lot of my clients will say, well, I'm just giving them a little bit of energy, I'm just pacifying them so they don't get worse. The thing is, they're still going to do the terrible things anyway. It doesn't work. It doesn't make them any better. It doesn't make them hold back. It just depends on what their next decision is on how they want to target you. So a lot of people think, well, if I just give them a little bit, all that does generally is erode you and also con yourself into start believing. Because if you keep watering them a little bit, like the gremlin, like watering Gizmo, you don't think it's going to turn into a gremlin, but I'll give them a little bit. Then one, you don't see it coming, so they get to shock you and trauma you, put you back into a trauma shock response even harder. And two, the more you keep watering, the more you keep thinking this is a cute, cuddly pet and not something that's going to rip and detonate my life apart. Yeah? Because you think, oh, well, they were quite nice today. I've just given them a little bit and they seem all right. Maybe they've had some kind of evolution. Then, of course, they'll traumatize you when you least expect it in the most vile, malicious way a lot of the time. Keep watering that thing. It's not a cute, cuddly little pet. It will rip your life apart. Right? So outcome focus. So I really do get to the grips of it. And it normally takes a little bit of me tuning into them and working with them to get them to claim what that is. Because at the beginning, you'll just be like, I just want him to leave me alone. Or I just want to agree like 3 days a week with the kids. But that's not what you really want often. It's normally what you think you can have. Yeah, and often when I've taken my clients here, I've had situations where a narcissist is blocking a client completely, won't get off her back. He's the one with the resources, the money. You know, they often do this on purpose. They're the ones with the supposed power, right? And it looks like that. I mean, I'm not doubting these things are extremely hard because they do have power and money and resource and stuff. But you don't know how much power you have until you know how much power you have in the things I teach you too. You've got more available than what you know, right? In your own energy, in your own decision making, and in your own co-creation with the divine. But yeah, I've had them completely back off with my client. Well, for my clients, I've had them go completely not even seeing the children at a time when they were fighting. I can't promise that for you, but I can promise you that I will deal with it differently to probably anyone you've ever encountered, and that you will. You'll, one, get clear on what you really want, and two, you'll be able to see that it could be possible for you, and three, know how to manage your energy accordingly. I'm seeing that in Sovereign. In my group now, we've got these situations, unfortunately, with narcissists. They don't want resolution, they don't want harmony, and they're very common. So outcome focused in an ideal situation. Not what I think I should do, because again, when you're co-parenting, a lot of the time, you think, well, you're trying to do what you think is in the kids' best interest. But again, I've got people every day talking to me about that, where they just use the children as pawns, and they actually try and poison the child's relationship against you often. So, you get outcome focused, you wake up to the light, you see the absolute truth, and you use a strategy that is you have to regulate. So the tools I put on here to help you with emotional, psychological, psychic regulation are very important, so that you can actually deal with it and minimize your contact with it for sure. I have clients that said, I don't ever want to go to court, so they're not going to court. Yeah, we figure it out. There are more opportunities than you think, more possibilities than you think. You've been conditioned to think in this fixed problem way, and that's part of the abuse cycle. But anyway, so you get very clear-headed, you strip the emotion out, and it has to be very strategic and transactional with a narcissist. That's the only way. Now, what you'll find when you can do that is they completely change, and they actually back off. They back off. Most people have not got clarity over what they really want. They're still in reaction to what they think they can have or what the narcissist is doing. And it's very hard to break this. This is why I do suggest you get personal help if you're dealing with this. It will be one of the best things you've ever done in your entire life. My charges are not that much at all. And honestly, lawyers can keep you in this for years. I don't. I only do a 6-week intensive with people. That's the longest, and then they can renew it on some cases. But my work does not take a long time. It will be one of the most important investments you ever make for your peace of mind and for your well-being. But it's up to you. And if you can't do that, please keep plugging in here. But just hear what I'm saying, because I'm giving you the principles. Outcome focused, and you've got to manage your energy using all the tools on this channel. If you don't have the resources to invest in extra support, then please take it seriously. Because I'm giving you a way in which you will raise your vibration and see things differently. When you're in narcissistic abuse, you cannot see possibility. All you can see is the problem. And Einstein said, you cannot solve a problem with the same thinking that created it, meaning you're not available for a better solution. All you can see is just above or just below or just slightly better than that problem. You're not able to see the revolutionary new idea that could be the one that gives you your freedom. Yeah, you're not available for it. Your consciousness, your mind can't grasp it. And certainly you wouldn't be able to, because when we have a new idea, we've got to hold it in our body to be, I talk about energetic capacity to receive things. Energetically strong means that I can feel definite about that. And when you get definite about it and your sovereignty is intact, your power is intact, their response to you changes, because they're not really looking. The thing with the narcissist is they're not looking for resolution and harmony, that's for sure. They're looking for chaos, disruption, to siphon your energy and to have a hold on you. And two, if you're not going to be a leaky energy source to them, they're not interested. They don't really, I have so many people now that I've worked with, right? I mean, what's fascinating is they don't really want the kids a lot of the time. Some might, but not for the right reasons a lot of the time. Yeah? So they're not fighting for the thing you think they're fighting for, and they're certainly not you. And a big problem that we have in this is we project ourselves on them. Well, I don't want to take their children away. They really care. If it's a true narcissist, the child is a pawn, and they'll discard them like they discard you when they get bored of them and they're not useful to them. These are hard truths dealing with a particular type of situation, which is not just a personality disorder. It's a spiritual sickness beyond anything else, and you can't change it. And if it is what you're dealing with, then mark my words, unfortunately, they're true. Like, I wish they weren't. But if you're not dealing with a narcissist, no, there's different things. I don't teach my clients this in their healthy relationships. I also teach my clients how to build loving relationships, create intimacy, right? And part of Sovereign is that, teaching you those principles. So, like, mark my words, I wouldn't say it. I wouldn't say it in a normal situation. I wouldn't. Because everything I'll teach you about intimacy is the opposite of what I'll teach you to do with narcissists. But there is a particular way, outcome focused. You've got to take the emotion out, very transactional. But if you don't know what you really want, it's very difficult to get definite in your energy behind it, because it's just like a compromise. No, get very clear. Your intuition is right when you get out of your head of what you think you can have, and you're not in the constant response, because they're constantly playing a game where they want you in response. I have clients all the time that come to me and it's like, they've just done this and now I've got to respond. And I'm like, do you have to respond? Do you? Emotionally you feel like you do, but do you actually? Legally you don't right now. Because what happens to us emotionally is we feel like if I just respond or I just pacify them, then they'll stop. They don't stop there. But the reason we think that is because we don't know how to regulate ourselves. So we think if I just do something, this emotion, this feeling will go away. You're really dealing with an emotional issue, not a practical one a lot of the time. So when I help you clear the emotional traumas and charges, basically, then you don't feel the need to respond. Now you're clear-headed, and now you're not reactive in the slightest. So those old trauma responses I talked about in yesterday's video, the fight, flight, fawn and freeze, don't apply. You're fluid and you're in your own energy. So it's not being able to hold the tension of our emotional stuff that is making us even more reactive, and that's what they want, to keep you in a trauma response and not thinking straight. So once I regulate with you, and there are many tools on here to do that, it says psychic tools, psychological, emotional, physical regulation tools, then it's different. You can think outcome focused. You don't play the game with them in the same way, because a lot of this, and also they'll screw themselves. They'll shoot themselves in the foot. It's only a matter of time. But if you're in reaction the whole time, you can't see that. So you're going to be reacting to them, rather than sovereign and responding to what you want and actually creating it, which I promise you is all I can say is in my experience. But I mean, it is actually not as hard as you think. Yeah, when you're regulated and clear. If you want to join Sovereign, you need to book your place. The next round, it starts officially mid-May, I say, the official trainings, but we have a warm-up when we get together, and I will open the doors on the 1st of May. So if you want to join it, you need to be on the payment plan now, because I can't let you in until you're paid up in full, right? Which means you'll just about make it for the first live training if you join the payment plan now. If you want to pay in full, that's excellent. You'll pay in full and you'll be straight in. And so that'll be a great thing to do. That course is extraordinary. Not only do we talk about, the energy work, I'm actually giving you energy work. I'm doing energy clearings with you. I'm giving you trainings. It's all about you and your sovereignty, your boundaries, your standards, your values, but making you energetically able to hold it, clearing the trauma, tools that you use in your real life. You get support in that group. I do Q&As. I do things to really lead you through that process. And at the end, when you're regulated, then we go into manifestation and creating your best life. It's an extraordinary experience, and the value of it is extraordinary, right? So if you can do that, I highly suggest it. Other than that, happy Wednesday, my loves. Play to win. Don't play knowing, but play to win when you've got the right tools. Playing to win, going out in a battle with that attitude. I don't mean play to win at all costs like a narcissist. I mean, you've got to have the right tools for the right job. And at that point, the right expectations, so you play to win and no longer put your life on the back shelf, right? You can have what you want in this universe. Your desires are meant for you. What you want in your heart is true for you, and it's allowed. You matter. What you want matters, and your life matters so much. It matters so much. And and if you're here, I expect you're not asking for much, apart from what is really right and fair. and in everyone's best interest, because it's not in anyone's best interest to be tortured by narcissists, including your children's, if you can help it, right? I'm not saying you've heard me out on that. Sending you a big kiss, lots of love, and I'll speak to you soon. Please keep commenting, please share, like, and subscribe, because it really helps my channel. I don't know a lot about how this works yet, I'm learning it, but I know that it does help to get my messages out and get the tools out and get people really changing their lives. So that I would appreciate. Thank you so much. I love you. Bye-bye.